One point early in my HR career has stayed with me for many years. I remember attending a farewell event for a colleague who was retiring after more than 35 years with one organization. A wonderful man, respected, loyal, and deeply committed to his work. In principle, it was supposed to be a celebration of a remarkable career and lifelong dedication, but the atmosphere felt strangely somber. As a young HR professional at the time, I could not fully understand why someone reaching such a milestone seemed so deeply unhappy. During our conversation, I asked him how he felt about his years in the organization and if he had any career advice for me as a new employee. I still remember his response vividly. He told me that despite sacrificing decades of his life for the organization, he had only been promoted once, just one level above the entry-level position where he had started. It was painful to hear. As a new employee, his words stayed with me for a very long time after that day. Over the years, that moment continued to weigh on my mind and eventually led me to a question that many employees quietly ask themselves, even if they never say it aloud. What does it really take to get promoted here? Is it hard work, loyalty, performance, visibility, relationships, politics, timing, or something else entirely? Today we are going to unpack one of the most important and often misunderstood questions in the workplace. If you have ever felt like you're doing all the right things but still being overlooked, this conversation is for you. Let's address the biggest myth. If I work hard, I'll naturally get promoted. Now, don't get me wrong. Hard work is essential, but it's not sufficient. In reality, promotions are influenced by three key factors. 1. Performance. Are you constantly delivering results? 2. Perception. Do decision makers see your value? 3. Potential. Do leaders believe you can operate at the next level? Many employees over-index on performance and underestimate perception and potential. So what do leaders actually look for? Over my 2 decades in the HR field, conducting thousands of interviews, I've observed that when leaders sit around the table to discuss promotions, the conversation is rarely who worked the hardest. It is also not about who wants the promotion the most. Instead, the discussion usually centers on 1. Who can we trust with more complexity? 2. Who can we trust to represent the organization, build productive relationships, influence others positively, and handle greater responsibility? 3. Who can handle pressure? Let's break that down. 1. Readiness for the next role. Are you already demonstrating the behaviors of the role above you? Employees are promoted because of the value they bring through their education, skills, experience, competencies, and performance. Organizations reward people perceived to have higher capital because they are expected to contribute more strategically. Problem-solving ability is crucial, very, very important. Do you bring solutions or just escalate problems? 2. Trust to build productive relationships and influence others positively. One of the biggest misconceptions about promotion is that it is based solely on technical competence. Competence matters, but as people move into more senior roles, their ability to influence others and build productive relationships becomes increasingly important. Organizations are human systems. Very little gets accomplished by one person working alone. Leaders need people who can collaborate across departments, build relationships, solve disagreements constructively, and bring others together around shared goals. I once worked with a colleague who was technically very capable and consistently delivering strong results. However, he had developed a habit of frequently criticizing and speaking negatively about colleagues behind their backs. While he may not have realized the impact of his behavior, it gradually eroded trust. People became reluctant to collaborate with him, and his reputation suffered. Despite his technical expertise, he was repeatedly overlooked for promotion opportunities. When promotion discussions take place, decision makers often ask questions such as, can this person work effectively with different teams? Do colleagues seek out their input? Can they build support for ideas? Do people trust and respect them? The third one is consistency under pressure. How do you show up when things go wrong? Promotion decisions are often influenced by what people do when the pressure is on. Do you lose your cool? Yell or shout when pressure rises? In other words, do they remain calm and focused, or do they become agitated and reactive when things go wrong? That's what separates strong performance from promotable talent. There are invisible rules that nobody tells you. Now let's talk about those unwritten rules, because every organization has them. 1. Visibility matters. If your work is excellent but invisible, it may not count in promotion decisions. There is no such a thing as being a silent achiever when it comes to career advancement. People need to know about your contributions, your accomplishments, and the value you bring to the organization. 2. Advocacy matters. Someone needs to speak for you in rooms you're not in. 3. Timing matters. Sometimes it's not about you, it's about whether there's a role available. 4. Fit matters. Organizations don't just promote competence, they promote trust and alignment. This is where many people get frustrated. They assume fairness is purely merit-based, but organizations are human systems. Organizations are not machines that operate purely on logic, policies, or performance metrics. They are made up of people, and people are emotional, political, biased, relational, and sometimes inconsistent in how they make decisions. So even though we often talk about fairness, structure, meritocracy, the reality is that decisions inside organizations are still influenced by human judgment. For example, two people can deliver similar results, but one is often seen as more ready because they are more visible, more trusted, or simply more aligned with the thinking of the decision makers. So, what can you actually do? Here are some practical and actionable steps. 1. Have career conversations early. Don't wait for annual reviews. Ask, what would it take for me to be ready for the next level? 2. Make your impact visible. Share results. Document achievements. Speak up in meetings. Promotions can sometimes be influenced by work politics, impression management, alliances, and power dynamics. Employees who understand organizational culture and political dynamics may advance faster than those who focus only on technical performance. 3. Build strategic relationships. Not politics, partnerships. Know who influences decisions. I've learned that promotions are not only about what you know, but also who knows you. Employees with strong networks, influential relationships, mentors, and visibility often gain access to opportunities, sponsorships, and information that others may not. 4. Seek stretch assignments. Growth is often proven outside your comfort zone. 5. Ask for feedback and act on it. Feedback only matters if it changes behavior. 6. Think like a leader now. Don't wait for the title. Start demonstrating leadership behaviors today. If you're a leader, here's the other side. If your employees are asking you questions, like I said before, it may signal a lack of clarity. Ask yourself, have we defined what promotion readiness looks like? Are we transparent about the criteria? Unclear systems create disengagement and sometimes attrition. Are we developing, not just evaluating our people? Leaders need to be mindful of invisible barriers that prevent certain groups from advancing despite qualifications and performance. These barriers may relate to gender, race, age, culture, disability, or organizational bias. Leaders should ensure that they are not only aware of the barriers and biases, but also explore ways of addressing them. So what does it really take to get promoted? It's not just about working harder, it's about working smarter, being seen, and being ready. And sometimes it's also about understanding the system you are operating in. Until next time, keep growing, keep asking, and most importantly, keep positioning yourself for the opportunities you deserve.